There are some interesting situations happening in the market right now, and many are noticing that there are occasionally some tasty prices on many items. So today, let's do a little market analysis. I'll express my opinion on the current situation, and I hope you'll find it interesting too. But of course, I want to say hello first. Hello everyone, this is Sanya, and you're on the Distortion channel. Let's not drag this out too long. I just recommend subscribing to my social media, like my Twitch, where I host live broadcasts and answer many of your questions. And don't forget to drop by my Telegram channel, where we also discuss the latest news and updates. Let's get started. Many of you who actively follow the market, like me and you, have noticed that a really interesting situation has begun to unfold across many positions, and that the market itself has begun to behave somewhat strangely at the moment. And of course, many people have this question. Will this drawdown, or you might say sideways movement, last forever? Well, whatever that sounds like, you could say there's a pullback on many positions soon. No one can tell you exactly how the situation will play out, because you can see for yourself that the market always reacts differently. We seem to expect one situation, and then everything ends up differently. And so, here too, we need to make more informed decisions now, and understand how the market might behave next, taking into account what changes may of course await us. Because, in general, right now, in the market, many positions are losing value. Basically, it's just that the cases are holding up, more or less, because they've managed to grow, it seems, over the past few months. Although, looking at the long-term perspective, it's not like they've grown significantly. You could even say they've remained at the same price. Still, many people are trying to hold the price of the case as well now. They're buying. There's demand and interest. But this is probably because we just launched the terminal, which is why things are going this way for them right now. And people who've apparently been wanting to get into cases for a while are apparently now actively buying them. But I'll say this right away. It's better not to buy cases at these prices now, because prices are really high right now. I'd rather wait for a pullback, because, well, cases can't always rise like this. And in the spring, we always see cases growing, so to speak. And that's why we're seeing this situation. We'll also try to figure out the reasons why the market is generally doing this way. But that will be closer to the end of the video. Some will definitely say that the reason should be stated at the very beginning, but no, I'd rather wait until the end. For now, let's just discuss all the situations happening around our market. Many are also noticing that the situation is developing interestingly regarding agents, as agents have really taken a nosedive after all the boosts that have occurred over the last 3 months. Over those 3 months, agents were being pushed back and forth quite a bit. Now, it's easy to see how many agents have managed to roll back their prices, and of course, many of those who, so to speak, are trying to speculate on agents are now looking at this situation and thinking, damn, a good opportunity to buy some agents who have fallen by 20, 30, or 40%. I agree with you, because if agents don't continue to come out, there will be a good opportunity to, so to speak, snatch something up for yourself. But here too, it's better to be cautious, always buying a little bit of everything. Personally, I'm trying to get involved with some agents right now, but I'm not fanatical about it, because God forbid agents are released in armor, or God forbid they are released there. The situation there could be unpleasant for those who were actively picking them up. But if they don't release, speculation on agents will continue. And also, as I said, the armory has already been mentioned. Right now, armor is starting to go crazy because, as many are saying, weak hands are coming out, hamsters are running, items are plummeting in price. That's why we're seeing such a result in prices and rollbacks on many positions right now, because even when you open swarms, you see that armor is really getting bleak. And it seems like everyone's waiting for the rotation, as many are saying. Everyone's waiting for a lot of content, but many are already entering the game just to protect themselves. They're no longer willing to wait for this rotation to happen and somehow profit from it. Although someone will definitely say to me, what, not ready? Everyone wants to make money off this part. But no, guys, there are those who have already made money, and they at least want to get out of it somehow now, because it's noticeable in many positions. I'm just trying to look at the charts to see how certain items have performed over the last 2 or 3 months. And now it's clear, even from the stickers, that many stickers are simply, let's say, losing 20–30% at a time. Roughly speaking, if you look at the last couple of months, the same thing is happening with collections that, well, 2 or 3 months ago, were extremely expensive. And many thought that this was a terrible price. But now you look at how, roughly speaking, Fades, B-Monsters, Train, Overpaw, Sport, even the same forgotten graphics are losing their pride. And now I can say that interesting positions are emerging for me personally, ones I'd like to collect. But I'll say I already have them, and I'm just trying to somehow improve the price for myself and average it out. You know, these are currently better prices for those who never intended to buy armor, especially considering the last couple of months. When we saw prices getting a bit high, there'll be a pullback, and then I'll buy. In fact, that's exactly what's happening right now. If you have armor, it's just a good opportunity to buy more or average out the price. But if you already have a good one, there's no point in even adding to it, because you'll figure out how to get out of it all, with all the quantities people have already accumulated. Those who weren't buying it might now, I think, be finding interesting positions for themselves, which is extremely important, because we're getting a lot of questions about armor. Should I wait for a rebound and then try to stock up, or is it better to stock up now when there's so much turmoil going on and people don't understand what's next for armor? Well, as I said, it's better for those who haven't had time to buy much, or haven't bought anything at all. If you have any of the items I'm about to mention, it's also best to be more careful and attentive about this part. Only buy if you can really get a good average price for yourself. And, well, I'm talking about quantity. I understand the desire to accumulate more and earn more, but you can see for yourself that it will be extremely difficult to make money with such a large number. But I can say that only the players who play for the long term will win, as is always the case in our market. Yes, boosts have flooded our market lately, but we can't always rely on boosts, and I hope that someone will boost our item. No, here we need to adapt to the situation and understand how this item can be in demand in the community in the future. Because now people are very often choosing items that are simply beautiful, because people have often started to forget about the crafting component. It used to be interesting and it used to be easier, but now people are like, yes, we don't just take what we like and what will be fun to play ourselves. Purely now, as many call it, play it best. Well, I'm also saying this here, decide for yourself, but I'll voice my opinion. I think you understand my position. I can also express my opinion on old collections that were actively dropped or used in operations. There are some interesting options there now, and I'm also trying to assemble something for myself. I mainly take what I like the most, because, you could say, there was a good pullback after they announced they were going to be removed. I don't know what I personally take, but to be honest, I take everything. Trying to get a little bit of everything. I'm trying to get integrals for myself, I'm trying to collect wind turbo, I'm collecting fades. Because there are interesting options there, and yes, fairies are always in fashion. The MP might get buffed again, improved, and maybe there will be even more demand for it. The Burma VP250 is a cool Kavash, but it's not for everyone. I personally don't like the Emoshka. I also take the red Uspics right away, trying to snag some. They look cool. The SGS are so-so. Well, basically if you take this whole section, the VOs are beautiful, you can collect them, because a lot of them were used at one time. This is exactly my answer to those who say, are you stupid to use them? There are millions of them. Well guys, yeah, but we also take into account that a lot of them were destroyed at one time. In a couple of years, if you want something long-term, you can find something for yourself. But basically, I'm saying you just need to consider attractive position. For example, regarding Inferno, I'll voice what I like. I'll sniff the same. The EM is cool, the Glock is not bad. Well, the crappy ones are for everyone, but you can also collect them somewhere for yourself. Cool. Mainframe. The EM, the gray one, is good, it looks good. Here, if I say something, choose something, you can find what the community likes, because that's the main goal right now. Yes, we're not ruling out a craft beer outcome either. Crafts are still a small percentage who use them. It's interesting. But now, crafts aren't as cool as they used to be. It's the same with bank collections, which are also available. Some items are already, well, you could say, on sale at a good price. It's also interesting to find something for yourself that people have been wanting to collect for a long time. For example, I'm currently trying to collect white lilies for myself. I like the C-shaped ones. I like the carbon poppies. All these fun ones are also catching on, trying to collect. That is, I try to get something that might be in demand later, and people are like, damn, I want something gray, black, or, I don't know, red. These collections will provide all this opportunity because they're cheap for now. And maybe in the future, the price will also develop a little and increase. The same applies not only to these collections I'm showing, but to all the collections we have. Because a lot of collections are currently priced at their own prices, and you can find something interesting for yourself. So I say aim for something people might like, not just the crafted outcome. I'm saying this. Maybe a war will start in the comments about that part. Suzanoff, you're an idiot, don't collect according to the crafted outcome, so you can get full cuts and so on. But no guys, crafts aren't that cool anymore. People just want to play with pretty skins. And here, in these old collections, you can find something like that. The same applies to any collection we have, even the active drops we have. But active drops, stop, don't take them, no need to rush. Armory, collections, you can choose a ton of stuff, whatever people like, whatever people want to play with. The crafting breakdown, well, let's say it's 50-50. We need to keep an eye on both. But if there's an option to just play, to have everything come together, that's always great. But you know, it's rare for everything to fall into place in Idino, like a crafted outcome. And the skin itself is beautiful. And that's where you always have to start sacrificing something in this regard. And there are a bunch of other operation collections that have also lost value. Those same mirages, dusts, vertigs. Someone might say, the drop there isn't that severe. But guys, if you look at the price gradually dropping, you can keep an eye on that. And this also applies to old operations. For example, those that came out in 2019, the network is loose. There was a huge drop there. You can find something. Cash, which you could say will soon be hyped because we'll have cash. Old timers are like, oh, I need to buy it, I need to run. People will start buying it. That means they can also get something out of other old operational collections. But I also say, don't buy too much. Keep liquidity in mind because you'll have to see how it's selling now, and only then decide whether to buy anything. But now the prices seem to have become more or less favorable. Those who attend the streams know that I'm trying to pick something out of there. I explained it. Also, if you'd like, if you'd be interested, I can make a video, or better yet, even drop by the stream, and I'll try to tell you about the skins I'm talking about in many of these collections. Maybe you'll find it more interesting to listen to it all there. This also applies to everything without the background and attributes. Frankly, it's some kind of nightmare going on here. There's a lot of merchandise right now, and the price is just starting to skyrocket. It's clear that someone is dumping it in huge quantities. Stony, Paris, Copenhagen, Shanghai. Well, there are these jokes now about finding something before a tournament. Maybe some speculation will start. A background without a background, as always. It used to be more active, now I think it won't be as bright, but there will still be some bang for your buck. But personally, as I'm looking at it for myself, stock is full of awesome HOVA stickers. And look how the price is skyrocketing. I'm not telling you, as you know, some air or water, something off the top of your head. No. I'm showing you an example that there's a real drop in price over the past few weeks. This is evident in many good, interesting stickers, and I personally really enjoy token stickers. Paris has some interesting options, but the sheer number is alarming. You can also get something out of Shanghai and Copenhagen, especially if we're talking about glitter, which is something that a lot of people really like. But I'm offering you so many options here that you can take a little bit of everything from them, even if you just take a little bit of everything, to, well, spread the risks. You can definitely make some good money. If you're playing for the long term, of course, because if you're investing, everything's fine. If you're looking for a quick buck, then these items aren't for you, because everything here will depend on the situation and timing. Quick money on Steam is made in slightly different places and on different deals. So the main thing to remember is the idea I'm expressing. You should always evaluate what you like, and the community is interested in liquidity and demand. All of this is precisely tracked on all those sites that I show and explain to you every time in my videos. If you don't know what site was in the videos, ask in the comments and I'll answer and tell you. And my followers who watch me will be happy to help you with this. Or visit my Telegram channel where you can ask me directly. But right now, I'm saying the most important thing is to consider what you like and what people like. Because right now, it's like they're just grabbing everything they can find to use. Even the bad, the beautiful, and the ugly, trying to figure it out for themselves. But right now, they're mostly trying to pull out attractive positions. Or they'll talk about liquid AVCs, Kawasaki, Emki. I don't know what people are playing with more actively, and people are actually interested in all of this. So those who are always searching, always find something interesting, no matter how grandiose it may sound. But for those who have a more specific idea of what to watch, and I've given you a few hints on where to look, you can find something there for yourself, whatever your budget. No matter your budget, $100 or $10,000, you can always find something interesting, especially with the market going through these situations. Yes, let's not forget, and I remember this myself from the update topic, that sleep will soon be rotating. And yes, there will be some turbulence there too, but that's why it was always necessary to have some kind of budget and stay within the balance at the moment, especially after those moments when there were good opportunities to make money in our market, because it was easy to track. And let me also outline the reasons that are happening now, in general. Right now, of course, this situation is also due to low demand, because our prices are high, there's little demand for everything, so now many people see that they're not buying anything, prices are high, and they're starting to gradually lower everything because of this. This is precisely what's evident in all the graphs we have, which people always like to show and rely on, because the general mood of the people is actually good for the market. This is all felt by those who actively participate in the market, watch it, and, of course, are interested. And this also applies to those guys who were in balance sheets and made good money recently on boosts. Because, guys, we've had so many boosts in the last couple of months, and it was possible to find interesting positions that actually brought in profits or exit them carefully when there was a good opportunity to make money. Because I'm just showing you in the Telegram channel where everything was clearly announced about all the boosts we had. And even if you had some money, you always moved it somewhere, which was cool. And then there are those types who are really just the kind of waiters, who are just waiting for that market crash, or just for some real market sell-off to start. Although, what can you call a market sell-off right now? What's happening right now? And they can choose something interesting for themselves. And let's not forget the updates themselves, because we recently released a terminal that brought a bit of destabilization to our market. It came for that reason, you could say, but it can also find something interesting and extract something from it. But the terminal has had its impact, no matter how you look at it. Some say, no, what impact? No, guys, it's there. And it's felt. Yes, look at the cases that have grown precisely against this backdrop. This also applies to the updates that are being released, because many people are currently expecting some cool update. Everyone is waiting for it to be released in rotation, something phenomenal, but the developers are not giving us this joy, and that's why problems like this arise. The fact is that people are essentially stuck somewhere with their money, not knowing what to buy. Let's sell something, something is not in the mood, and so we are failing to keep up with the most important mood of people. Because basically, when you see something cool, interesting, and awesome happening in the market, and the mood is interesting, and people are trying to buy something, trying to make a go of it, but when there's a lull, panic, confusion, and turmoil, that's when you see this general downturn. And it's precisely during this downturn, this panic, that you all need to try and make choices for yourself, and not wait for someone to call you, knock on your door, or show you a button so you know you need to buy something right now. So it's also very important to keep track of everything. And that's why I always try to explain and show you with videos like these that there are good options right now. And many people, when they say, Sanya, you're not giving any tricks. Guys, in every video I make, I always try to motivate you and explain how you can make some good money right now, how to get started, and how to find something interesting. Well, those who listen don't seem to be complaining. You can write your own comments if you even listen to me, but it's also entirely up to you, because I'm also trying to explain what I'm personally trying to do right now, and looking at the overall market situation, because you also need to base your opinion on something when someone says something. But basically I say, read what Western guys do, and our guys from the CIS, and you'll see what people are generally thinking about our entire market right now. So that's roughly what our video turned out to be. Share your thoughts on the situation. If you're buying or selling, you'll also be interested to learn about all this. Also, don't forget that in our last video, we had an interactive video. The winner appears on your screen with 5 keys, and you can take them with F2. Congratulations. We'll have another interactive video in this one. Let's say the code word is drawdown. Just write it in the comments, like it, and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to watch my previous videos and support them with your activity. Thanks for being there. Thanks for watching. It was Sanya with you. All the best, everyone.